If you thought the build-up to Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul was going to be all smiles and pleasantries, you were dead wrong. The upcoming clash between the boxing legend and the YouTube star is bringing out the bad blood already. At their recent fiery press conference to announce and kick off the promotion for this fight, Iron Mike came out swinging with some serious verbal warnings for the problem child. We're talking next-level intensity and mind games from one of the most intimidating figures in combat sports history. Let me set the scene. Tyson is getting ready for the fight itself. Just then, he and his crew record a video. Finally, the 56-year-old former heavyweight king opens his mouth.
Day 4, it was okay, but you don't know what you got in store, baby. You got to face the God of War. And get ready, baby. Fire in the house.
Sheesh. Tell me that bone-chilling Tyson roar doesn't still put the fear of God in you. Even just on the mic, that primal intensity is absolutely frightening, coming from one of the most ferocious competitors to ever step into the ring. If I was Jake, I would have played it cool in the moment. But you could see the brief flicker of surprise and maybe even a little fear in my eyes when Tyson switched into that menacing mode. To give some extra context, these ominous warnings from Tyson were likely sparked from an encounter the two had recently before. Let Iron Mike himself explain from his conversation on the Joe Rogan podcast.
You know how crazy it is if he's
Listen, I saw Jake Paul. I was in the same bar. And I don't know who, somebody's boat, and he was there.
You already know, there had to be some unspoken tension between the 56-year-old wrecking machine and the brash 25-year-old upstart. Maybe some words were exchanged, or maybe it was just an intense stare-down situation, but it clearly stuck with Tyson and put him in the mindset to issue these legit threats to Paul's well-being. Despite the OG bad man's vicious verbal assault, the young Paul didn't back down one bit. When asked directly if he still wants to fight Tyson after those fiery comments, Jake responded emphatically on Twitter. You've got to respect the guts and confidence there, even if it may be misguided. Paul is well aware of the dangers, but that massive opportunity and payday seems worth the risk in his eyes. Speaking of risks, not everyone is on board with this fight happening. Take Campbell Hatton, for example, the rising junior welterweight prospect who feels fans have been misled by Tyson's impressive training clips. There's definitely some truth to that perspective. At 56 years old, no matter how spectacular Tyson's handiwork looks on the mitts, he's simply not the same terrifying force he was in his prime. Father Time is undefeated. The legendary Oscar De La Hoya seems to agree with Hatton's stance, voicing major concern for Iron Mike's well-being against someone that's 3 decades his junior, like the 25-year-old Paul. You can understand where the Golden Boy is coming from. Despite Tyson's imposing aura and surprising physicality in the gym, putting his legacy and health on the line against a hungry young lion just doesn't seem worth it to most insiders. At the end of the day, though, most people are siding with the all-time great over the novice. Like Amir Khan said, this is serious business against one of the most revered heavyweights of all time. Whether it's real or staged, one thing is abundantly clear already. Mike Tyson is dead serious about making this a nightmarish experience for Jake Paul. At this point, Jake better be just as focused and realize what he signed up for here. Because if he shows up at all unprepared against prime Tyson aura and power, even at 56 years old, it could end up being one of the most brutal mismatches in recent boxing history. So what do you think, fight fans? Will Tyson's vicious mind games and trash talk be enough to spook Paul out of this one? Or is the YouTuber turned boxer hell-bent on risking it all to take out an all-time legend? Let me know your thoughts on this explosive press conference down in the comments below. Do Tyson's menacing warnings have you hyped for this spectacle or dreading the potential violent outcome? While you're getting those hot takes off, make sure to subscribe to the channel so you catch all my upcoming coverage as this fight draws nearer. Trust me, the hype and intensity is only going to keep ramping up from here.